Hello everyone. This is Rena. Welcome to the Book Summary Library channel. This channel provides you with a moment to relax and learn while you are busy every day. Just listen to it during your relaxation time before bed or during a short gap while traveling, and you will definitely gain new realizations that will resonate with your heart. Today, I will talk about a book called Habit Power to Change Yourself by Sho Miura. This book teaches us the message that just one habit can dramatically change your life. For those who can't keep up with their diet, are not good at getting up early, or want to develop a reading habit but are having trouble, this book is full of hints to help them. At first, I was also skeptical and asked myself, is it really true that just one thing can change your life? But the more I learned about the examples of people who have actually tried this method and the scientific background, the more I became convinced that this is something that anyone can do. From now on, we will dig deep into the secrets together, so please listen to the end. 1. Habits become a switch that changes your life. Have you ever thought, if only I could keep up this habit, things would be better in your daily life? For example, I want to get up early in the morning so I have more time. I want to exercise a little every day. I want to keep reading to improve my work skills, etc. However, sometimes you give up after 3 days, or you give up because you're too busy. This book introduces the idea that, by acquiring just one habit, your entire life can improve. This is called a switch habit. This is because one good habit becomes a trigger that creates a chain of positive changes one after another. As an example, the author introduces the case of Mr. M, a businessman in his 40s. Mr. M was so focused on his work that he didn't have enough time to spend with his family, and he felt like his life was at a dead end. However, he decided to make waking up early a habit and started getting up at 5:30 every morning. He says it was a little difficult at first, but after a month he was able to wake up without an alarm clock, and after 3 months his life had completely changed. The reason he started this habit was because he had a real goal, to cherish time with his family. By getting up early, he could enjoy breakfast with his family, help his children with their homework, and strengthen his bond with them. He also had more time for himself. As a result, he developed the habit of exercising, and had more time to read and study English, which led to a chain of positive changes. What we can learn from this story is the importance of focusing on one switch habit first, rather than forcing yourself to change many things. Small changes can pave the way for big changes. 2. How to find a switch habit. You may be wondering, but how do I find a switch habit? This is one of the main points of this book. In order to find a switch habit, it is important to first clarify your true purpose. For example, people often say that it's good to get up early. But it won't last if it's just for health or because it seems good. This book says that it's important to ask yourself. Think about your fundamental purpose. Why do I want to acquire this habit in the first place? Let's take the author's own experience as an example. Miura has successfully lost 10 kilograms in the past. The trigger was that he was told about health risks during a medical checkup. At first, his motivation was just a superficial need to lose weight, but the moment he realized his true goal of living a long and healthy life for his children and being a fulfilling father, his actions started to move forward smoothly. This reason, not for himself but for his children, flipped a strong switch in his mind and body. In this way, to find your true purpose, it is recommended to ask yourself the following questions. What positive changes will this habit bring to my life? What else do I want to achieve through this change? What will it ultimately mean to me? For example, if you want to make jogging a habit, your initial motivation may be, because I want to be healthy. But if you dig deeper, you may find your true purpose, such as, I want to regain my confidence and live a life that is true to myself, or, I want to be someone that my family and those around me can be proud of. Once your purpose is clear, the process of forming a habit will be surprisingly smooth. This is the importance of finding your true purpose. 3. Tips for continuing your switch habit. Once you find your switch habit, the next step is to figure out how to continue it. This book emphasizes the importance of valuing small steps as a tip for continuing. The key is to start with what you can do comfortably, rather than setting big goals. For example, if you set a goal like run 10 kilometers every morning, you will often give up after a few days. But if you decide to run just 500 meters first, the mental hurdle will be lowered and you will feel like, I can do this. This feeling of, I can do it, is very important in continuing a habit. The author also introduces a method that he practices in coaching. It is setting a small action every time. For example, let's say the manager of a company sets a big goal of increasing sales by 20% within 3 months. In order to achieve that goal, he set a small action of writing a letter of thanks to one client per day, and the results were better than he had expected. Small daily actions eventually bring about big changes. In addition, this book also suggests ways to link pleasant emotions to habits. For example, if you want to make exercising a habit, it is effective to listen to your favorite music while exercising or set a small reward for yourself. As a specific example, in addition to listening to your favorite music while jogging, the book gives ways to incorporate fun such as preparing special chocolate that you can only eat while jogging. If you continue to do this, the positive emotions about the behavior itself will be imprinted on your subconscious, and before you know it, you will be in a state where you can't calm down unless you do it. At this stage, the habit is practically complete. 4. The surprising mechanism by which habits change the brain. Some people may be surprised to hear that continuing good habits changes the brain. This book also explains the surprising mechanism in detail. In fact, the neural patterns in the brain themselves change when a habit is formed. This change is the key to making new behaviors stick. The brain strengthens neural circuits in response to repeated actions. This phenomenon is called synaptic plasticity. In other words, the behavior you continue to do every day will be imprinted on your brain, and you will gradually be able to do it unconsciously. In other words, no matter how much conscious effort you need at first, if you continue, you will be able to do it naturally without any effort. For example, let's take a look at the example of exercise introduced by the author. In one experiment, subjects were asked to practice an exercise program for 2 months. They trained at the gym 3 times a week. As a result, by making exercise a habit, their overall life had a positive impact. Amazing changes were observed, such as reduced smoking and junk food intake, and increased frequency of showing kindness to others. This change is thought to be the result of the brain being restructured around new good behaviors. Furthermore, changes in the brain due to habit formation also lead to improved self-control and willpower. This is why one habit causes a chain reaction that attracts other good habits one after another. The important thing here is to continue the first step without straining yourself. If you do that, the brain itself will accept the behavior as natural, and other behaviors will proceed smoothly as well. The conclusion of this book is that, if your brain is on your side, it will be surprisingly easy to form habits. 5. Specific steps to establish good habits. Once you find a good habit, you need to take specific actions to establish it. This book recommends that you proceed through this process in 4 steps. Let's go into detail for each step. The first step is to clarify your true purpose. For example, let's say you want to adopt the habit of jogging every day. However, you won't be able to continue just because it's good for your health. What's really important is to dig deep into, why do you want to make this a habit? For example, if you clarify your motivation, such as, I want to be a healthy parent who can spend more time with my children, your motivation to make the habit will increase significantly. The next step is to list specific habits to achieve your goal. At this stage, you should come up with ideas one after another. List all the actions that you think will be useful for the future you want to realize, such as exercise, reading, and schedule management. The next step is to choose one habit from the list to tackle first. The important thing here is to narrow it down to just one thing. If you try to start many things at the same time, there is a high chance that you will end up doing them half-heartedly. For example, you could choose a small habit like doing light stretching for just 10 minutes in the morning. The last step is to break down the habit you have chosen to a level where you can continue it unconsciously. The key to this is to set a low goal. Instead of deciding to run 10 kilometers from the beginning, you can lower the hurdle to continue by setting a goal such as run only 500 meters first. Then, gradually guide yourself so that the behavior becomes natural. By being aware of these 4 steps, the success rate of habit formation will increase significantly. And when the habit becomes a natural part of your life, you should be able to feel the next good behavior being added smoothly. 6. The power and effects of consistent practice. The ability to continue acting consistently is essential to acquire habits. This book introduces many examples and considerations of the amazing effects of consistent practice. For example, let's look back at the case of Mr. M, who made it a habit to get up early every morning. Mr. M made it a practice to wake up at 5:30 every day. This seemingly small action eventually had an amazing effect on his entire life. First of all, he was able to spend more time with his family in the mornings and communicate more effectively. Not only that, but he also started using the early morning hours to study English, which resulted in a significant improvement in his TOEIC score. He also developed an exercise habit and says that he began to feel a big change in his health. In this way, the changes brought about by consistent actions are not just effects, but powers that enrich life itself. There are 2 important points in this process. First, break down your actions into small steps. By setting minimal steps, rather than trying to do many things at once, the psychological hurdle of continuing is lowered. For example, Mr. M did not aim to perfect his presentation in English from the beginning. The key point was to first set a small goal such as reading an English textbook for 15 minutes every morning. Second, accumulate success experiences. By accumulating small success experiences, your self-efficacy will increase, making you think, I can do it too, and you will be motivated to challenge yourself to achieve even bigger goals. At first, M's only goal was to get up early and eat breakfast with his family, but his success gave him confidence and he was able to try other habits. The power of consistent practice that you gain in this way will turn into the power to control your own life. In order to develop this power, it is important to think of habits as investments in yourself and pour time and energy into them. 7. Habits shape the future. This book teaches us that if we acquire good habits and continue them consistently, they will become the power to shape our future. In other words, habits can be said to be presents to our future selves. By digging deeper into this way of thinking, we can see how we can change our future. For example, the case of a salesman at a certain company is introduced. He adopted the habit of expressing gratitude to customers once a day. As a result of continuing this simple action every day, after 6 months his relationship with his customers had improved remarkably and he was able to achieve results that far exceeded his sales target. Furthermore, this habit gave him the confidence to take on new challenges. In this way, the power of habits expands your options for the future. In particular, this book emphasizes the use of the subconscious mind. By concretely imagining how the actions in front of you will affect the future, your subconscious mind will support you in that action. For example, if a person who wants to succeed in dieting does not just set a goal of losing 5 kilograms, but instead imagines a specific vision of the future such as enjoying travel with a healthy body or playing sports with my grandchildren, the action will be deeply imprinted in the subconscious. When this subconscious recognizes the actions in front of you as something necessary for the future, it naturally increases your ability to continue. In addition, in order to shape the future, It is also effective to develop the habit of looking at yourself now from a bird's eye view. By looking at yourself objectively, you will be able to calmly judge what you really need and what actions will lead to the future. This book says that having this bird's eye view will make your daily actions more in line with your goals. So far, we have looked at the important points that the power of habits to change yourself teaches us. The core of this book is that one good habit can be a switch that changes your entire life. And I learned how to find that habit, the tricks to make it a habit, the power of the subconscious, and the concrete steps to shape your future. What's great about this book is that while it is based on the simple theme of habits, it shows methods that anyone can put into practice through concrete actions and examples. It's not a difficult theory, but it's full of ideas that are easy to incorporate into your daily life. With this, even if you're busy and don't have time, you're sure to be able to start. Lena also read this book and it gave her an opportunity to think again about what she wants to do. My goal is to make this channel, Book Summary Library, the best place to learn in Japan and the world. And I want to provide busy working people with the experience of learning just by listening and discovering a new you. To make this dream come true, Lena herself values small habits. For example, she makes time to read new books for just 5 minutes every day, and continues to research to provide useful information to her viewers. I believe that these small steps will one day produce big results. So please support this channel. Thank you so much for listening today. Rena is making this video with all her heart so that everyone's future will be brighter. Next time we meet, let's enjoy learning something new together. See you.